My name is Micah Pulse, and I'll be doing this joint webinar with Kaori from USACO. Kaori, would you like to get started?
Sure. Okay. では、時間になりましたので、始めさせていただきます。本日はお忙しい中、Jove General Webinarにご参加いただきどうもありがとうございます。私、USACO株式会社の須藤香織と申します。本日のウェビナーは基本的に英語で通訳なしとなりますが、日本向けの開催ということで、私の方で少し日本語のサポートをさせていただきます。弊社は昨年、Joveの日本総代理店になりまして、私の所属するUSACO株式会社プロダクト部 Jove チームでは、Joveのコンテンツやサービスを日本の皆様に紹介したり、日本の皆様のニーズをJoveに伝えたりしております。今日は同じくJoveチームの佐々木遠野も参加しており、チャットボックスの担当などさせていただきます。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。今日の流れですが、この後Joveからの参加者をご紹介させていただき、その後本日の講師、マイカ・ポルシ氏よりJoveビデオの活用方法やJoveでの出版方法について説明いたします。その後、簡単に私から日本語でマイカのプレゼンからのハイライトや日本に特化した補足情報などをお話しさせていただきます。その後 Q&A の時間を設けておりますので、プレゼン中に何かご質問などありましたら、お手数ですがチャットボックスにご入力をお願いいたします。日本語でも英語でも構いません。チャットボックスにはプレゼンの中で紹介されるリンクやコンタクト情報など随時入力していきますので、連絡先のコピーペーストなどにご活用ください。また本日のセミナーは途中から参加される方などのために録画させていただきます。ご了承ください。また、本日日本人以外の方も参加されていますので、少し英語で説明させていただきます。Thank you for joining Jove General Webinar today. My name is Kaori Store, and I'm managing Jove team at USACO Corporation. We are a Japanese agent for Jove, and my colleague in Jove team at USACO, Yoko Sasaki and Mika Ono, are also here. This webinar is for Japan, so I will support Japanese attendees in Japanese. Today's schedule is, firstly, I will introduce people from Jove. Then today's presenter, Dr. Micah Pulse, will offer the presentation in English. Next, I will speak about 10 minutes in Japanese regarding the highlights from Micah's presentation and some additional information for Japan. Then we will have Q&A session. If you have any questions during presentation, please feel free to send them in chat box. We are sharing useful links mentioned in the presentation and contact information in chat box, so please use them to copy and paste for future use. We are recording this webinar for the people who couldn't join in on time. Well, so I'll back to Japanese and start the introduction of Jove people now. では、Joveからの参加者を紹介させていただきます。まず、エラン・ザイト氏です。エランは2016年よりJoveの日本担当を務めており、日々弊社とコミュニケーションを取りながら日本のユーザーの皆様をサポートしております。エラン、would you like to say hello to everyone? Eran, do you hear me?
Yes, thank you very much, Kaori, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining this third webinar that we are hosting for the Japanese audience. This is very important for us, so we highly encourage you to learn from Micah's presentation and ask us questions if you have questions later. So thank you very much for joining and enjoy the webinar.
Thank you, Eran. 次に本日の講師マイカを紹介いたします。マイカはオランダのユトレフト大学で細胞生物学の博士号を取得、がん免疫学に関する研究に取り組みつつ、細胞生物学のクラスやラボコースなどの指導に関わりました。オーストラリアのクイーンズランド大学でポスドクを務めた後、ロンドンへ移住し、ファカルティ・オブ・サーザント・リサーチの編集者を担当。2017年にJoveに入社し、今はJoveサイエンティフィックアドバイザーとしてJoveビデオを研究と教育のために最大限活用できるよう、世界中の大学の先生方をサポートしています。Micah, could you start your self-introduction and presentation, please?
Absolutely. Thanks everyone for joining. My name is Micah. I'm Jove's scientific advisor, and I will be running you through our Jove presentation today. First, we're going to start off with what is Jove exactly and what are the products that we make. We're going to go over how to access our videos remotely by creating a free Jove account. We'll highlight some of our education resources and how you can get access to these. And finally, we'll talk a little bit about sharing videos with students and faculty and some of the Jove support sessions that we offer for our customers. Then Kaori will take over. She will highlight the key points from my presentation in Japanese and also give you some more information about testimonials and case studies that we have done with Japanese customers and some of the videos that have been published by Japanese researchers. And finally, she'll highlight some of the bundles that are available for subscription and provide you with relevant contact information in case you would like more information about subscribing to Jove. All right, let's get started. We'll first start with what is Jove exactly. Jove stands for the Journal of Visualized Experiments, and we make scientific videos to help teaching, learning, and practicing science more efficient, effective, and engaging. In 2006, when we got started, our CEO, Moshe Pritzker, was a PhD student at Princeton University. Now, as a young researcher, Moshe was trying to replicate an experiment that he read about in a traditional science journal. And this experiment was originally performed by the University of Edinburgh, and it had to do with creating stem cells. Now, he was trying to complete this crucial part of the research using a text protocol, but he couldn't quite get it to work. After months of trying, the solution was to send Moshe all the way to Edinburgh to learn this one experiment. This was a great experience, but it also costs about 2 months of travel and a lot of money for reagents, ending up costing about $10,000 to learn one experiment. So on his way back, Moshe came up with the idea, what if we didn't just publish the text version of articles? What if we would visualize the science, making it easier to learn for other researchers? Now, Moshe, who was not a native English speaker, thought there was a better way of learning science because it is rather difficult just to understand an experiment from reading it in a traditional journal. Now, this is how Jove Journal was born. By now, Jove helps millions of researchers worldwide to enhance education by creating resources with high impact video animations and real-life lab footage. We also improve lab training. So if you're onboarding new members of staff, there's a lot of time, money, and resources being saved by making an efficient training protocol. And finally, we hope to accelerate research by making new protocols and new methods easily available for other labs to adopt. Jove is a living video library. At the moment, we have over 12,500 different videos in our ever-growing library. Every year, we add about 1,200 new videos to this collection. Worldwide, there is over 1,000 institutional subscribers and over 8 million unique users. The benefits of our videos are that they are accessible worldwide 24/7, and we're constantly expanding our languages and translations. And by now, for most of our education resources, we have Japanese subtitles available. And we have well over 10,000 downloadable protocols that you can use in your lab straight away. Now, Jove has a wide variety of different content. We have a lot of best in industry method practices, along with the latest version of these new methods and completely new articles and techniques that have developed in recent years. We publish articles across 13 different scientific sections, and we've published articles from authors and labs all around the world. We have a very rigorous reviewing policy. So all of that you read in Jove Journal is reviewed by editors and scientific experts across the world. Jove is the world's only peer-reviewed video journal. Now, why is visualizing research so important? Even as a scientist, it can be really difficult to picture what an experiment will look like when you're reading it from a text article. For example, even the text here on the left-hand side, which describes how to line up C. elegans worms for an imaging experiment, it isn't immediately clear what you should be doing. Even if I just added a still image like the one you see here on the right, it immediately clarifies what I should be doing and what I should be seeing under the microscope when performing this experiment. Now, if you add video, it makes it instantly clear what you can expect from your experiment and what it should look like while you're performing it. Accessing Jove videos is relatively straightforward. If your university or institute subscribes to Jove, means use IP recognition. So that means that when you're on the campus, the videos that your university has access to will play for you automatically. However, when you're off campus, we use various different methods to verify your access. The first being email domain authentication. So by creating a Jove account on the Jove website, you get access to all of the videos that your university subscribes to. We can also work with Open Athens and Shibboleth and Gakune, and we can also set up easy proxy for your university. Finally, the best way to share videos with students is by embedding them in a learning management system. This allows students to access the videos without needing to create a Jove account or verifying their access in any other way. Now, the best way to share videos with students and colleagues is to create a Jove account. If you are a teacher or a researcher, I highly recommend setting up your own Jove account with your institutional email address. This is relatively easy and can be done on the main Jove homepage. If you're on the homepage, you will see the sign in button, which allows you to either log in with your institutional email if you've already created an account with us in the past, or it allows you to create a completely new account. Once you have verified this account per email and let us know that you are teaching, you will get access to various different features on your Jove account. These features are not available if you use any other means of logging in, for example, by Open Athens or Easy Proxy. So the benefits of having a Jove account is that you can check your access wherever you are, so you can immediately see what videos are available to you. You can also watch the videos anywhere in the world when you're off campus. And you can create embed codes to share videos with off-campus students and colleagues. As I mentioned, this means that your students will not need a Jove account to watch the videos that you've selected for them. Also, your Jove account allows you to create unique playlists of your favorite videos or videos that completely match your courses. I will talk a bit more about this in a minute. And finally, your Jove account allows you to post questions and comments for article authors. We do not allow anonymous commenting on our site, so you'll need a Jove account in order to do this. Now, what is Jove? Jove creates scientific videos for 5 unique resources that help with education, training, and research. On the education side of Jove, we have Jove Core, which is an animated textbook that uses high-impact animations and real-life lab experimentation films to explain key concepts in various different topics. The next product we have is Jove Lab Manual. These are sets of experiments that you can do with your students and that can also be used when students cannot physically come to the lab to do the experiments. In Lab Manual, each of the experiments has 3 different videos. One is a concept video that explains the background of the experiment. One is a teacher preparation video that shows you as the instructor exactly what you need to prepare before the students come to the lab. And the other one is a student protocol that takes students through the experiment step by step, including an explanation of any safety concerns, as well as an analysis of the results. Then the final product in the education section is Jove Science Education. This really focuses on fundamental techniques and how to use basic equipment that you will find in most labs. This is done through easy to understand video demonstrations and also some animations to really clarify what would be going on inside the test tubes, for example. On the research side of Jove, we have 2 products. We have Jove's Video Journal, which publishes experimental techniques created by authors all around the world. So this is our methods journal. And this is publishing in 13 different scientific sections. And then our newest product is Jove's Encyclopedia of Experiments. These are collections of experimental techniques that revolve around particular model organisms. And later this year, we will be adding techniques that revolve around certain diseases, such as lung or breast cancer. So these are really great collections if you're looking for any techniques to use on, for example, C. elegans or zebrafish, or later on, certain types of cancer. Now, checking your access to Jove is relatively straightforward. When you're on the Jove website, if you are logged into a Jove account with your institutional email address, you can simply go to the section at the bottom that says for librarians and check your access under the access button. For this, you do need to be logged into an institutional Jove account. You hit the access button and it will show you exactly the sections of Jove that your university subscribes to. If you find that you do not have an institutional subscription to Jove yet, and you would still like to have a look, please request a trial sending an email to this email address. And we can help you set up a trial for the sections that you might be interested in. Now I'm going to highlight some of the Jove education products and their features. First off, Jove Core. Jove Core is our video textbook that can either serve as a primary teaching resource or can be used to supplement your existing teaching resources. We have 3 chapters of Jove Core already available for you. We have Jove Core Biology, which is loosely based on Campbell's Biology, the world's most frequently used biology textbook. We have Jove Core Chemistry, which is mapped to OpenStax chemistry. And we have Jove Core Social Psychology. Jove Core Biology is available in various different languages, and we will be rolling this out to the other Jove Core books as well. All of our education products have subtitles available in at least 10 different languages, including Japanese. Now, in Jove Core, we'll find high-impact animations to explain basic scientific concepts, and we also have scientists in action videos that show scientists applying the concepts of each chapter in real-life laboratory settings. For example, Jove Core are divided into different chapters. This is an example from our social psychology textbook, which is created using high-impact 3D animations to clarify the interactions between the animated humans in the social psychology experiments. This is a particularly interesting product for most researchers because it contains a chapter on research methods, which really goes into detail about how to set up an experiment or case study, how to do particular observations, but also how to analyze data using basic statistical methods. So even if you're not a psychologist, I would highly recommend checking out this chapter 1 of social psychology. Now, inside those chapters, and this is an example from our Jove Core chemistry textbook, we find the key terms and concepts. So each of the chapters contains several different lessons, and these can be up to 20 lessons or as few as 10 lessons. And each of the lessons contains a video with accompanying text. All of our chapters also contain the Scientists in Action section, which takes you to some more advanced videos that explain how the concepts of these chapters are applied in laboratories around the world. Now, on the Jove Core video page, you will find various helpful features for both students and instructors. So I'll take you through these. The video transcript of each of the videos is available on the right-hand side. This can be copied and pasted in case you need to provide it separately to your students. The videos are kept short and concise to make sure that you can easily add them into your existing lessons or lectures. You can also set various videos as homework before the students come to the lab or to class to really clarify the concepts beforehand so you can continue with a more in-depth discussion during your lessons. There's reading material available underneath each of the videos. Because the videos are kept short and concise, we do want the students to have a wider bit of context to place the video's concepts in. So extra reading is available underneath the video, and this is also where you find the source material and any suggestions for further reading in case the students want to learn more about this topic. Then there is an Embed and Share buttons that are all underneath the video. If you're logged into your Jove account and you click the Add to Favorites button, this video will automatically be added to a list of your favorite videos, making it easy to find them back later. With the Share button, you can share links to the video. For that, students would also need to be logged in. With the embed button, however, you can create an embed code that allows you to fully embed the video into your learning management system. Then when the students play the video from there, they will not need their own Jove account to watch them. Now for students, there's also various helpful features available. First off, the voiceover translations. These are available in various different languages, and we're constantly working to expand these to even more languages. The impact animations are really clear illustrations of key concepts. We fully clarify what is happening, for example, inside a cell or inside a test tube, making it much easier to understand. There's also subtitles and closed captioning available in different languages, including Japanese. And the video can be speed regulated. This means that for some students who would like to watch the video at slightly higher speeds or maybe slightly slower, this is an option that is available to them. Then I'm moving on to the next education product, which is Jove Lab Manual. Jove Lab Manual are sets of experiments that take the students through the concepts behind the experiment as well as a detailed scientific protocol. Jove Lab Manual is available in two different topics. We have Jove Lab Manual Biology and Jove Lab Manual Chemistry. Now, as I mentioned, each of these experiments contain 3 different videos showing an experiment from 3 perspectives: the concept, instructor preparation, and student protocol. Jove Lab Manual, and this is an example from biology, will contain experiments over different ranges of biology or chemistry. So you can pick an experiment that roughly covers the type of biology that you're currently teaching. For example, we have experiments in ecology and evolution, but also cellular processes and genetics. Now, helpful features for instructors teaching with Lab Manual are that there is both the concept video and the instructor preparation video that shows you as the instructor everything that you need to prepare in order for the students to successfully perform this experiment. This includes detailed protocols on how to prepare certain solutions before the students come to the lab. Again, there's video transcripts available of all of our videos. The videos are relatively short. There is additional reading material, and in case of the instructor preparation video, this also covers examples of the different learning objectives that go with these videos. And finally, all of these videos can also be embedded and shared using the share buttons underneath the videos. Now for students, again, the video transcript is really helpful, allowing them to read along with the video, which is handy. And then there's the student protocol. This is a very detailed protocol that goes with additional reading materials, and also all of the tables that students will need to draw in their lab books are available underneath the video. The animations really help explaining the key concepts and making it very clear what is happening inside, for example, a chemical reaction. And again, there's closed captioning and subtitles available for those who need them. Then Jove Science Education. This is a collection of well over 500 videos that have easy to understand demonstrations of fundamental techniques in the different scientific fields. We have videos available in both basic and advanced biology, which covers the biggest biology fields. And this ranges from basic collections showing general laboratory techniques or lab safety videos to things like molecular and cellular biology, immunology, microbiology, neuroscience, developmental biology, genetics, and a whole lot more. So these are worldwide the most frequently used collections. We also have a chemistry series, which contains 6 different collections ranging from general and analytical chemistry to organic, inorganic, and biochemistry. Then we have a clinical skills collection, and this shows techniques mostly aimed at first-year medicine students and nursing students who have to start doing physical examinations on patients. These videos also contain information about basic anatomy. For example, when it shows students how to perform a knee exam, it will also go over the basic features of the knee and how it works. Then we have an engineering collection, which is one of our most versatile collections. This collection contains 8 different series that range from bioengineering and biomedical engineering to things like chemical engineering, structural engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and aeronautical engineering. So this is a wide range of topics that are being covered. Then we have a collection on environmental sciences, which also contains things like earth sciences and environmental microbiology. Then we have 2 collections in our physics department and 7 collections in psychology, which range from close to neuroscience, like neuropsychology and cognitive psychology, to social psychology and developmental psychology. So again, quite a versatile collection. On the Jove Science Education pages, you can see that they look a little bit different than the other 2 products. So we'll go over some of the helpful features. First, there is a navigation for the video. These videos are a little bit longer than the ones you will find in Core or Lab Manual, because they go further than just to explain a concept. They also show you the entire experiment. To make navigating these easier, we have divided them into different chapters. So by clicking on the chapter header, you can jump to that part of the video, making it easier to watch part of the video again in the more complicated experiments. For these videos, there is also a quiz feature available. This feature is only available if you're logged into your Jove account and you have let us know that you are an instructor or a professor. This is to make sure that only teachers and instructors get access to the answers to the quizzes, whereas students will not be able to see this feature unless you assign them a quiz. By clicking on the Create a Quiz button, you will be taken to a page where you can set up your own multiple choice quiz. Each of the videos come with 5 questions already pre-programmed, and you can decide whether you want to use these or add your own questions. Again, it is fully possible to embed these videos into your learning management system and create easy access for students. You can also request a quiz bank from us that allows you to embed the quiz questions into your learning management system as well. All of these videos come with a detailed protocol page. That is because these experiments are a little bit longer, so we provide the protocol on a separate page that also allows you to watch the video while reading through the protocol. And on several of our collections, we now offer an interactive mode. This is currently being trialed on our chemistry collections, and this means that there will be questions overlaid on top of the video, basically pausing the videos and then asking the students a question. If they answer the question correctly, they can continue watching the rest of the video. This is to make relatively longer videos slightly more interactive and interesting for the students. Now, the interactive mode looks like this. So if you click the button underneath the video that says interactive mode, at certain points in the video will pause and ask you one of the multiple choice questions. If you answer correctly, the video will be allowed to play on immediately. And if you get the question wrong, it will give you 1 hint and you're allowed to try it once more. After 2 wrong answers, it will simply give you the answer and allow you to watch the rest of the video. Interactive mode videos can also be embedded into your course LMS. So if you have interactive mode on and you click the embed video button, the embed code that appears will contain the interactive mode and the questions. So when embedded into the LMS, the interactive mode will play like it does on the Jove website. Now we're going to move on to Jove's research products. First, we have Jove's Encyclopedia of Experiments. This is one of our newest collections, and it's a one-of-a-kind video encyclopedia of advanced research experiments. Encyclopedia of Experiments biology covers various different protocols that can be used on particular model organisms, such as Drosophila melanogaster, C. elegans, and zebrafish. These detailed animations and lab footage help explain both the theory behind the experiment and how to set up an experiment. And then we have a step-by-step video demonstration that really brings it to life. In Encyclopedia of Experiments, as I mentioned, we have 3 collections already available. Drosophila, C. elegans, and zebrafish has actually just been released a week ago. So I'd highly recommend checking out these new collections. Later in the year, we will be adding more collections that work with methods to research particular diseases, such as breast cancer, lung cancer, and leukemia. Then we have Jove Journal. So Jove Journal is the world's first peer-reviewed scientific video journal, and we are indexed in a wide range of different databases, including PubMed, Web of Science, SciFinder, and Scopus. We publish scientific research protocols from authors all around the world, and we publish them in 13 different sections, ranging from behavior and engineering to various biology topics and chemistry, but also medicine. So each of these topics contains a large number of different video protocols, and I'll go over some of the features with you. So when you're on Jove Journal and you click on an article, you will first be taken to the video page. This video page has various different features. First, we have the detailed protocol. These videos can be between around 8 to 12 minutes, with some exception of videos being either a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. We have closed captioning available in English for our videos. And you can also regulate the speed of the videos. We have video chapters to make navigating the video easier, which is more important in these videos since they are a little bit longer. The video navigation makes it super easy to jump to the part of the video that you wanted to see. For example, if you struggle with part of the protocol or the experiment doesn't work out, you can see which part of the experiment needs to be performed differently. Then we have a button that takes you to the article page. So this is the written version of the method article. And there's options again to embed the video. And in Jove Journal, we also show you related videos, which will help find more protocols that match your needs. Then on the article page, we find the complete full text of the article, but you can also still play the video from here. So if you wanted to read through the protocol and watch the video at the same time, you're totally able to do so. We also have the text article navigation, which allows you to jump to part of the article that you want to read. Then there's share buttons. So we encourage people to share links to the video articles on their social media page, but also, again, you can add them to your favorites. This is not done by an add to favorites button on this product, but by using the star that adds it to a list of your favorite videos. You can download a full text PDF of the entire article, or download a materials list, which can be kind of like your shopping list. This contains every material that you need to replicate this experiment. And finally, we have standard citations. Because it is a video article, the citations might look slightly different than what you're used to. So for Jove Journal, we provide citations that you can easily include into your reference management system. Now, Jove Journal also contains method collections, and I would highly recommend checking these out. So when you're on the Jove Journal homepage and you click on method collections, you can use the search bar to find any method collection that you might be interested in. Method collections are collections of videos that are hosted by guest editors. These guest editors are experts in their field, and they publish an article with Jove and encourage their colleagues in the field to do the same. Which means that in each of the method collections, you find a wide variety of protocols that will help you either fix a certain issue or provide protocols to study a particular phenomenon, like in this case, protein-protein interaction methods. On the site, you will find more information about our guest editors and why they decided to start this collection. They provide an overview of all the videos published there, along with an editorial video. All of these videos also have downloadable protocols, and all of the videos here can be embedded into a learning management system as well. Jove Journal is a constantly evolving library of videos, so we always have more content coming out soon. And we publish continuously in our 13 different disciplines of Jove Journal. And we're also updating Jove Encyclopedia of Experiments quite frequently. So keep an eye on those pages for constant updates of new protocols and videos. Then we also have more Jove Core textbooks coming out this year. For example, we are working hard to get our molecular biology collection to the finish line. We also plan more collections in, for example, organic chemistry and also physics. So keep an eye out if you want to teach using any of our textbooks for more content soon. Now, by combining all of these different products, what we're trying to do is really support scientific discovery at all levels. So for example, when you're teaching foundations of the different sciences, I highly recommend checking out Jove Core. This video textbook is really helping students get to grips with all the concepts that they need to learn in order to be able to perform experiments in the lab. Then we have a practical section, which is Jove Lab Manual. These are standard basic experiments that you can do with a classroom full of students that get them into the lab and practicing science. Then when you want to refine those methods and you want to take it up a notch and have students work in labs and internships or experiment using new equipment, using science education and Jove Encyclopedia really gets them to that next level. And then finally, when you're applying new scientific techniques in your research lab, Jove Journal will help you learn all of the new techniques that are out there. Now, how do you find what you need on the Jove website? Jove's website has an advanced search option on our site. So when you come to the website, the search bar is available for you, and this will pull from all of the different products. So if you're not quite sure where the right videos for you are on the site, I recommend using the search bar. If you do any search, it will bring you back all of our videos on the research side of Jove on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, it will bring you back all the education content that we have. If you're sure that you're looking for education content, you can simply click View All, and it will expand on only the education content. Likewise, if you're a researcher and you're looking for a new method for your lab, you can expand on the research side by clicking the View All button here, and it will bring you back all of the research articles on Jove. You can further narrow this down by filtering by either publication date, author, institute, or the different subjects to make your search a little bit more narrow. Now, all of our videos can be pulled into what we call playlists. And with playlists being newly developed, we have a new service available for all of our customers, which is syllabus and training program mapping. What this is we're trying to save you time by creating playlists that match your course content. So the idea is that if you're teaching any sort of course or you're setting up a lab training, you can let us know what topics you'll be covering, and we have a team of subject matter experts who will pull together a playlist that completely matches your training program or courses. So you will receive a clickable list of videos that have all the Jove content that is relevant for your course. You can either share this with your colleagues or your students, or you can let us know which videos you would like to use in your course, and we can help you get these embedded into your learning management system. Now, playlists can be used in various different ways. First off, you can use them to engage students and to streamline your teaching practices. You can either create your own playlist, or you can have our team of experts create one for you. Playlists are also frequently used to train new lab members by accumulating all the different protocols that are used in your lab, and have this available for new team members to train with. These playlists are shareable, so you can both share them with students inside your lab and other staff members, or you can also share them with other people that might be interested in your videos. They can be highly customized, meaning we can pull in as many or as few videos that are relevant for you and your lab's training needs. Also, playlists make the videos easy to locate because you already have a collection of all the videos you want, and it will tell you easily where these videos are located on the Jove website. Now, creating a Jove playlist is fairly simple. If you're on your account, you can either follow a 1-minute tutorial video of how to create a Jove playlist, but it's also pretty self-explanatory. You can either add videos one by one or add them in bulk if you already know which video numbers you'd like to use. You can also request a Jove playlist from our customer success team or from your account managers. Or in this case, you can also request one from Yusako, and we will pull together a specific playlist for you. We also have already pre-mapped syllabuses available on our faculty resources pages. So our team has mapped various syllabuses around the world and created playlists that best match each of these courses. So these are available to you on the Jove website in case you want to have a look at what these playlists look like. Now, the Jove Faculty Resources Center you can find on the Jove homepage. It is listed here in red. If you click on this, the first thing you see is the different playlists that are mapped to different topics. So if you're interested in this, highly recommend having a look at these playlists. What you will also find on the Faculty Resources Center is information about how to embed videos into your courses or your learning management system, and also guides for teaching remotely using Jove videos. So if you're using Blackboard or Moodle or any other system, we have a guide here available with a tutorial video that shows you how to embed content. Now we're going to talk a little bit about publishing with Jove and the reasons that people publish with us and what the benefits are. First off, people publish in Jove to increase the visibility of their research. If you've invented a new way of doing things or an improvement on an already existing method, sharing a video on the Jove website really makes it easy for other people to adopt your new technique and to understand it better, and most of all, to reproduce your research. Also, publishing with Jove improves the efficiency. So you can preserve your methods when you have new people joining your lab and help train them so that everyone in the lab knows exactly how to perform this technique in the same way. It also allows you to easily share your technique with collaborators around the world. And finally, using the Jove videos reduces time and resources usually lost to failed experiments. When everyone is able to perform a research method in the same way, it means the results you're getting are much more uniform. We have, for example, worked with various labs around the world, including Boston University's DAMP lab, and they increased the success rate of their method by at least 25% after publishing their article with Jove. Video publishing is also much easier than you think. The part that you as an author need to handle is very standard and much like publishing in a more traditional journal. And our Jove team handles the rest when it comes to video production. I will explain a little bit more about how this works. But first, I'd like to highlight that we've published some high-key research papers in the past year or so. We have various Nobel Prize winners that have already published with Jove, and I really recommend checking out some of their articles because they've published some pretty fascinating new techniques. The publication process is fairly straightforward. So how this works is you submit a manuscript. This is a method paper. We have a template available that shows you exactly what format this paper needs to be in. Then when you submit your paper, our editors have a look at it and assess it for the scope of your paper, and we send it out for peer review. This is much like in a traditional journal. The peer reviewers might come back with additional questions or comments, and you have the chance to revise your manuscript. When your manuscript is accepted, we turn it into a filming script, and this is done by our in-house PhD level script writers. That script gets to be approved by you, and then it goes on to video production. At this stage, a videographer will contact you and make an appointment with your lab to film your experiment in one day. We also add in an interview with you, the author, where you can explain what people can learn from this video and what people can do with this new technique. Then we produce it and make it into a proper video and add a professional voiceover for your article that narrates the entire experiment. This gets sent back to you for final approval, and when everything is complete, both the video and the article get published on the Jove website. Then how are Jove articles being used? How are they being cited? A few years ago, there was an article in a Springer journal that looked into how video articles, and particularly Jove articles, are being cited around the world. And this had some very expected findings and also some very exciting findings. So I'll walk you through these real quick. First off, it found that well over 70% of Jove citations are for methodological reasons. And this is exactly what we expect. We are a methods journal, and we really want to help people adopt new methods and for researchers to be able to transfer their methods to colleagues around the world. It also found that the majority of citations were in the methods section, which again was what we expected and what we'd hoped for. It also found that the majority of articles were published in journals with an impact factor of 3 or higher, meaning that high impact journals were picking up our methods and our papers. But the best conclusion from this article was that less than 40% of the citations of Jove articles were self-citations, which means that well over 60% of citations were coming from other scientists who had read a Jove article, who had watched a video, had learned the method, and successfully implemented it in their own research. So this was a very exciting finding that shows that what we set out to do, help researchers adopt new methods, is actually working, and this is how Jove is being used today. Now I will give over the word to Kaori, who will summarize in Japanese some of the highlights of this presentation, and who will also give you some more information about how Jove articles are being used in Japan.
Thank you, Micah, for your presentation. So I'll start my part. では、ここから私の方で日本語で少しお話しさせていただきます。まず、マイカのプレゼンテーションからのハイライトについて、Joveとは、研究と教育のための科学ビデオコレクションで、現在1万2000以上のビデオを収録しております。テキストで読むだけではなくて、動画で視聴可能にすることで、実験の再現性、主義の早期習得、学習意欲を向上し、時間とコストの削減に貢献します。現在、世界で1000以上の大学、研究機関、企業でご契約いただいており、日本でも約40機関でご契約いただいております。Next slide, please. 特徴としましては、STEM 分野、理系の分野を幅広くカバーしております。テキストとビデオ両方を提供しております。また、再生スピード調整機能もございます。さらに教育ビデオについては、日本語を含む10カ国以上の字幕が表示できます。学習管理システム LMS との連携も簡単にできます。また、学生用のクイズ付きビデオもございます。Next slide, please. アクセス方法について、契約機関のネットワークからは ID パスワードなしでご視聴いただけます。自宅など機関のネットワーク外からのアクセスも可能で、様々なオプションがございます。機関のメールアドレスのドメイン認証、確認、Easy プロキシ、学習支援システムへの埋め込みなどにより、学外からも利用が可能です。また、Jove個人アカウントを登録していただきますと、ご自分で設定した ID パスワードによるリモートアクセス、お気に入りビデオのプレイリスト作成、学習支援システムへの埋め込み、その他様々な機能が利用可能になります。また、教員の方向けのサービスも充実しております。シラバスの内容に沿ったおすすめビデオをピックアップしてプレイリストを作成するカスタマーサクセスチームがございます。また、学習支援システムや Zoom などでJoveを利用する場合のサポートする各種資料も提供しております。これらの情報はファカルティリソースセンターというページにまとまっております。Next slide, please. 次にコンテンツについてご説明させていただきます。Joveは大きく2つに分けて、教育用コンテンツと研究用コンテンツがございます。教育用コンテンツの方は、Jove Science Education という分野別シリーズ、また Jove Core というビデオテキストブック、Jove Lab Manual という実験プロトコル集がございます。また、研究用コンテンツの方は、Jove Journal ビデオ学術誌、 Jove Encyclopedia of Experiments という世界初のビデオ百科事典がございます。Next slide, please. 日本の皆様からも数多くJove推薦の声をいただいております。こちらはJove Journal バイオケミストリーセクションエディトリアルボードメンバーの富田先生からのお声で、特に実験動物への介入については動画で視覚的に確認できることはかなりインパクトが大きいと思いますとのコメントをいただいております。また、Joveに何度か投稿いただいている理化学研究所、京都大学両方に所属していらっしゃる増本先生からも、ビデオジャーナルという特性上、文章だけの学術誌よりも情報量が多く、特にプロトコルを正確に伝えるには、実際に実験を行っている様をビデオで見せることができるため、非常に重宝していますというコメントをいただいております。Next slide, please. また、Jove Core については、自然科学研究機構の小泉先生より、教科書のような構成となっており、学校で学ぶ生物や科学の基本を動画で学ぶことができます。基本的な内容を分かりやすく扱っているため、ちょっと見てみようという初学者にもおすすめです。一つの動画が2分程度と短く、教育現場で ICT 教材として取り入れやすいところも良い点ですというコメントをいただいております。また、東京医科歯科大学の大学院生様からは、現在コロナの影響で他の研究機関に訪問することが難しい中、大変有用です。外部施設訪問の際は日程の調整、移動も含めて膨大な時間が必要ですが、このツールの使用により、その時間的無駄を省くことができますとのコメントをいただいております。Next slide, please. 日本での導入事例としまして、久留米大学様の例を紹介させていただきます。久留米大学様では、医学科1年生の基礎生物学と基礎遺伝学のオンデマンド授業で、Jove Coreバイオロジーのビデオをご利用いただいております。こちらは Moodle で構築する電子シラバスに先生がご自分で収録された動画ファイルと講義の資料をアップロードしてオンデマンド形式で提供しているコースだそうですが、その中でJove Coreバイオロジーのビデオも参考資料としてリンクを貼り、学生に視聴を促しているそうです。外国の1年生でも分かりやすいと評判をいただいております。Next slide, please. また、Joveには日本からの投稿ビデオもたくさんございます。弊社のウェブサイトには日本人論文紹介のページというものがございまして、そちらにはこちらで紹介しているように、著者の方から論文タイトルとアブストラクトの日本語訳をいただきまして紹介しておりますので、ぜひご参照ください。Next slide, please. では、購読について少しお話しさせていただきます。まず、契約についてよく聞かれるのですが、申し訳ありませんが、個人契約は提供しておりません。ご所属機関での法人契約が必要となります。基本的に年間購読で、価格は個別にお見積もりとなります。で、今までマイカが紹介したように、Joveには様々なコンテンツがございまして、すべてのコンテンツを利用できるパッケージや、分野別のパッケージなど、既存のパッケージも各種ございます。その他、各機関の図書館や研究支援、教育支援のご担当者様とご相談の上、各機関のニーズやご予算に応じたカスタマイズパッケージの提供もしております。Next slide, please. 最後にコンタクト情報になります。今回のオンラインセミナーにご参加いただき、2021年の授業でJoveを使ってみたいという先生がいらっしゃいましたら、機関やコンテンツなど個別にご相談の上、無料トライアルを提供いたします。授業で使うということになりますと、数ヶ月にわたることもあるかと思いますが、そちらもご相談の上対応させていただきます。また、担当されるコース、授業のシラバスや英語のキーワードなどいくつかいただければ、12,000円以上あるJoveビデオの中からおすすめのビデオをピックアップしてご提案するサービスも無料で行っております。その他何かご質問やご要望などありましたら、下記までお気軽にお問い合わせください。伊佐子株式会社のプロダクト部Jove担当までよろしくお願いいたします。So next slide, please. 以上で私の説明は終わりになりまして、Q&A に行きたいと思います。何かご質問などある方はチャットボックスにご入力いただくか、マイクはミュートしてご発言いただけますでしょうか。So I finished my part, so we are going to have Q&A. So if you have any questions, please enter your questions in chat box or please unmute the mic and speak the question, please. もしご質問がないようでしたら、もう時間もちょっと押してはいるんですけれども、よく聞かれる質問一つだけちょっとマイカの方に投げてみたいと思います。じゃあ佐々木さんよろしくお願いします。
Thank you, Micah. Could you please answer to some frequently asked question?
Sure.
他の国で Jove はどのように授業で使用されていますか？ How is Jove used for teaching class in other countries?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for that question. So how Jove was being used before the pandemic was mostly to prepare students before they come to the lab to do real experiments. So when you're teaching a practical lab course, what many of our teachers would do around the world is they would embed the videos of that particular experiment that they were going to do that week into a learning management system so that the students at home could prepare and watch the technique before they had to perform it themselves in the lab. And this had as the main benefit that the students felt much more at ease in the lab. So they spent much less time asking questions at the start because they're afraid to get started or because they don't know how to use a certain piece of equipment. And they instead could get themselves started and come up with more relevant questions. So as a teacher, it meant that instead of spending the first 20 minutes of every lesson trying to get students to get started, instead, you could focus on the more detailed questions that come later in the experiment. Now, as of last year, obviously a lot has changed. So a lot of our videos are now being used in places where people cannot physically come to the lab or to the school and do these experiments in real life. So especially lab manual and science education have been massively beneficial where students can no longer come to the lab and do experiments themselves to get them that experience to at least have seen the experiment from start to finish and performed in great detail. So right now our products are being used in two ways, mostly for teaching. That is to prepare students for practical experiments and also to help them better understand certain concepts by using these animations to clarify concepts that otherwise they would just read about in a book. Are there any other questions? I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have. You can either do that in English or if you prefer in Japanese.
So thank you, Micah, for your answer. And I think we are running out of time. So もうお時間が迫っておりますので、他に何かご質問等ありましたら、チャットボックスの方にも連絡先入れておりますので、product@yusaco.co.jp までご遠慮なくお問い合わせください。So, Micah, shall we finish the webinar now?
All right, thanks everyone for joining today. I hope this was useful. And I hope all of you will check out some of the Jove products when you get a minute. Thank you very much.
本日はご参加いただきどうもありがとうございました。では、これにて終了させていただきます。失礼いたします。